Welcome to another episode of Amma, Ask Master Anything. Today we have Master Shri Akarshana.
Namaste.
And my name is Angela, and today we'll be asking some questions that the creators have had the opportunity to ask you. So there's a lot of questions that they have asked. However, we're just going to go through some questions that I've picked.
So you've picked the best questions.
I picked the best questions. That is right. So one of the questions is from Mariska Operam.
Okay.
And she's asking, why do I have the urge to connect with my higher self?
Because you do.
What do you mean you do?
The urge to connect with higher self is calling, is like what people call dharma, that energy, that pull. Mm-hmm. So it's always happening, actually. It's not just, what was the name?
Mariska.
It's not just Mariska. It's everybody in this world are always pulled towards something. And that is a feeling. And so whenever we have this intuition or this gut instinct that pulls us towards something, and sometimes it may be against what our mind processes. Maybe our mind is saying, wait there a second, this don't make any sense.
It's like the logic and the non-logic part.
Yeah, so it's the logic and non-logic. So logic, I always say, is our preconditioning. So it's how we've been conditioned, and that's why we think a certain way, what we should do, what we shouldn't do. Our feeling is just, I feel, then I should do. So what is mentioned here is talking about the seeker's journey. It takes courage. Not many people can do it. People usually flicker in and out of this. And sometimes they listen to intuition. Most of the time they're interfered by their mind.
By the logic part.
Yeah. And that's why also a lot of the time when we do videos, we talk about how to distinguish the difference between logic, mind, and intuition. But if one is able to actually commit to following the flow of energy entirely, actually, there's a lot more truth to actually come out from it.
So how do you think, if there is a calling, like how can you actually differentiate by the logic, or is that the intuition and that's what I should follow?
So this is a video I covered recently talking about this, was saying that if a feeling comes from a thought, then that is a feeling that is stimulated by thought, meaning you can't say, oh, God is speaking to me. Because at that time, the programming, depending on who's programmed your mind, your upbringing, your parents, your teachers, that thought has stimulated some sort of feeling. So the whole thing is, this seeker's journey is to say, you know what, I'm just going to go with feeling, and feeling that is not stimulated by thought. We get this all the time. I'm sure you get it too. But most of the time, our mind kicks in. The moment our mind kicks in, we're no longer flowing with what we feel anymore.
So what would you recommend, like for Mariska in this case, if she's having this feeling, where she go now? Like what would be the action for her to take if she decides to go into a seeker's journey, for example?
Okay. The seeker's journey, okay, you need to understand like this also. If container is not prepared strong, diving into seeker's journey can be extremely chaotic. Because it's something like, let's say, for example, let's talk about relationship.
Okay.
Let's say you meet somebody and then you have feelings just start, right? Now, in your logic, the human side will be balancing out, wait there a second, but I can't commit to this. Maybe I'm committed to something else. Or it's saying, this in my mind, this is not the type of person I was looking for. So I can't commit to this. So what will happen is, if you flow with the energy in that moment, actually that will kick off. And the thing is, because the universe needs to take you through different paths to be able to, for you to recognize the right paths, or through one path to get to another path. And it will and if you follow that calling, actually it will be the shortcut. It will be the fastest way. But following the universe speaking to you, which is feeling, it can only speak to you through feeling. The universe and God, or God, depending on what you believe in, will not come down and say, Angela, go do this now. Because if you did that, actually it'll freak you out.
Of course.
So instead, it will use other means by the flow of emotion, energy in motion. That's how it communicates with you, through emotion. Energy in motion, then we feel emotional pull towards something. We feel that attraction towards something. So it will always try to take you through the shortest distance to get to your destiny, your purpose, your calling. But humans will make it an extremely long journey. Because
I've seen that part.
Yeah, because it will make a decision that, oh, I need to go this way, I need to go that way, oh, I can't go this way, not right now, maybe later. And then it keeps finding other ways until finally it still returns to the same path anyway. But what I'm saying here is not to say that, because some people will think, okay, then I should follow flow and just flow with everything. Actually, that's what I practice, and that's what I've been doing for years. However, for somebody else is to understand and recognize that it may get very challenging.
Yeah, because it's not easy to go that path. I feel like when I decided to go to India, for example, it was that battle, right? Is it my intuition or is it something logical that I have to do? So I think that was the biggest controversy that I had at that time.
And it's like you being on the show now is only because you were in India.
Yeah, that's cool.
So
totally.
That's why maybe this is also one point that is your calling. Maybe this YouTube channel, maybe before you never thought, I'm going to do a YouTube channel, I'm going to be an influencer, I'm going to impact lives. Suddenly you're here, but just because of the decision to go to India on a Himalaya retreat, you see? So these things will all connect in that way, and it'll connect extremely fast. If you think of where you were 1 year ago to where you are now, how life has changed, actually it's changed dramatically, right? So in that sense, then we understand that is the universe taking us through the shortest path. But there's one thing to also understand is that, and I'll give you an example, Angela. It's like a few days ago, I made that video, the I Am Love video.
Which, by the way, if you guys haven't seen it, it's in Master's YouTube channel. It's just, I got chills when you showed us on Sunday. It was amazing.
So that's your thoughts, and that's also the thoughts of thousands of people who have commented on it so far and joined the movement, the I Am Love movement. However, you need to understand what actually happened, because I literally woke up in the morning and I just started looking for my phone immediately. And I don't usually do that because that's not usually my first practice. But I said, I need to grab my phone. I grabbed my phone and my thumbs were going exactly how I wrote the book, Set It and Forget It, the same way. It just went going. And then 5 minutes, and note that I don't class myself as a writer or a good writer or anything. Something just went through and everything started rhyming. Now that's very interesting because I when I was younger, like in my teenage years, I remember watching Eminem with my friends, 8 Mile, and then I remember we were just messing around doing this like rap battle thing, and it was terrible. I couldn't find any words to rhyme or anything. But this thing just came out in flow. In 5 minutes, it was complete. The whole thing. And I looked at it and I literally, I was looking at it and thinking, oh my God, this is a genius of a piece, you know? And when I seen the style of it, I said, okay, so what can we do? That's when I spoke to Kaina and I said, hey, put some music on. You will never guess. She said, oh, okay, I'll have a look. And you know, on Artlist, they have like thousands of music. The first one she played, where the pauses were, where it stopped, where it sped up, everything was just perfect. That was my first take. My recording was my first take. even before I was recording, I remember, because that day after I wrote it, I said to Karina, I said, we need to go to the office. Let's record this thing.
Yeah.
So came, recorded it, did the whole shooting, the whole video, everything. And by 11 p.m. it was all created. It was the production as you see it. And the thing is, if I use my mind on the whole thing, number one, that day I was busy. I had other things scheduled, right? And I look at it, I'm thinking, this is so lyrical and so like, is there so many rhyming and things like that? And it's like, man, this is not what Master's message was. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, wait there a second. And then because I looked at the style of it and how the music came out in flow, just with the click of a button without thinking, it was very rap gangster style. So in that sense, I just said, okay, I need to grab a top, grab this, grab that, put a hood on and just do it. This is all without thought. And it came out that way. Now, if I look at logic mind and looking at the whole thing, it doesn't make any sense. Is that the branding?
Yeah.
Should I speak that way, dress that way, sing that way, rap that way? But actually, it is what it is. And I've, for many years now, been that way. And you should see sometimes when you look down the comments, there's a lot of people, this is not you. Why are you trying to be somebody else? Why are you trying to do this? Why are you trying to do that?
Yeah.
How I like to look at it is like this. It's like, if you feel as an individual confined to who you are, and then you get confused when things are in flow and are different, then you stay confined. But you need to understand one thing is that I am teaching, just like in this conversation we're having, teaching that art of flow. In the same sense, I will forever be free in flow in that way. It's the best way to be. I do what I want, when I want, wear what I want, when I want, say what I want, how to say what I want, change what I want. Be in that flow. That is a free spirit. And this is what Grandmaster always talks about, right? And Rebecca also saying that us as yogis, yoginis, the practice should be to be a free spirit, right? To be in flow that way.
I think one of the things that I can point out is also the trust, right? Because many people, maybe at that time when I was in making the decision where I go to India or not, trusting in myself or trusting in that inner or higher self of me is also that trust, because you trust that whatever it is, you were not going to put your logical mind and just going to do it. So just I think that's also allowing and trusting. Yeah. I think that's really important.
Allow everything to flow through you. Then you'll get the best experience of life, I think.
And it came out beautifully. So it's amazing.
To all the positive people, yes.
Yes.
To all the people who didn't accept change, it was not so good. you see?
Everything is meant to be.
But that's what I'm saying. It is what it is. And if you flow with it, there will be positive, there will be negative response. Mm-hmm. So how do you deal with it? Actually, you don't need to deal with it. Live. Be a free spirit. Live the most. Do everything. Experience all.
Yes, definitely. Well, Master, thank you so much. Namaste.
Namaste.
And thank you so much for watching today. If you want to ask any question just like this, please make sure to subscribe to our Creator Circle. You have the opportunity to ask anything to Master. I'll be posting a couple posts so you can go ahead and ask questions. But for now, have a great, wonderful week, and we'll see you in the next show. Namaste.
Namaste.